So on today's episode of Henry doing diff flush, he loves the smell of diff fluid. Loves it. Look at him. He's like, oh,
trans and diff fluid are the worst things to smell.
I don't know what it is, but differential fluid and transmission fluid just stinks.
Yeah. It like stays in your nose too.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you get it on your hands, it just lingers.
yeah. It's like when you're out one night and you drink too much, next morning you just keep on smelling alcohol.
Yep. And even after you brush your teeth, you still taste it. What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to talk about installing a catback exhaust system. In this case, it will be the Bomiz valved exhaust. We will go through as many steps as we can to help you guys install and remove your exhaust. But at the same time, for anybody who is actually interested in buying a Bomiz exhaust, which is available on our website, or you can buy it on Bomiz directly, and we can show you how to hardwire it directly instead of using the cigarette lighter that's currently available for the exhaust system. Now this is going to allow you to connect it to your car and not have to worry about running a wire all the way to the front. So we'll show you guys how to do that. So first step is going to be removing your exhaust, which Henry is currently doing. So on the OEM exhaust, there's actually a bracket right here on the transmission. Now we're going to remove these two bolts that's retained here and here. Those are 13mm bolts. And once you remove that, in this case, this is aftermarket test pipe stuff, so don't worry about this stuff. So there's just one bolt here, one bolt here. And then you have 2 bolts on each side. There's 4 in total. This actually isn't even the OEM bolts, but okay. You see it? Yeah. So this is actually going to be an E12, and the opposing side is a 15mm nut. So that's how it's supposed to be from original. In this case, it's been removed and somebody replaced the bolt here with, it looks like a 17mm. Then we remove the O2 sensors on each side. There's 4 in total. These are 22mm. You can use a 22mm wrench, or you get an O2 socket if it's super tight. Now you don't have to, but yeah. So here, Henry's gonna shoot off this side. That was pretty loose. So we don't actually remove the O2s completely off. We actually only undo the O2s and unravel it out of here. That way the O2s can just dangle. You can also remove it by unplugging it out of here, but this one's a little bit more difficult because you have to go through here. You can remove the O2s completely with the X-pipe if you choose to. We prefer to just undo them from here and reinstall while they're still in the car. Once those are off, then you have 4 bolts here that are 13mm as well. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove those. This will now hang like this. Then you have the donut clamps. I call these donut clamps. These are held on with 13mm bolts, 1 on each side. This is aftermarket, so don't worry about this part. Then we will go to the back. The back has a hanger bracket that's here, held on with 13mm nuts. 1 here, 1 here. We just use an extension, go straight up all the way. Then you go to this side, and there are 2 13mm nuts on each side. 1 here, 1 here. And then 1 here, 1 here. Now you have a ground from factory as well. Don't worry about removing the ground completely off. You can just remove just the 13mm bolts. So today on the channel for this video, we have a special guest, someone who I actually met over at Cars and Coffee. Kennedy actually showed me his TikTok video and I was dying laughing. Ran into him. Kennedy's like, yo, that's the guy, that's the guy. And here we go, it's Esteban.
What's
the
up,
one
guys?
and only.
Yes, what's up, you guys?
So
he's good.
He's coming by, and he had we're working his car too, but he had a couple questions about N54s, and I just made a video about it yesterday and then uploaded it today. So what's your question?
Port injection. What is the best kit to go with for port injection?
So this is perfect because yesterday I was actually talking about which products to go with. So people obviously people ask about, like, which kit should I go with, or what products I should go for. I kind of talked about stuff like that.
Yes.
So for PI kit on the N54, what I recommend is to go with black market racing parts. They have some pretty good parts. Or Feel It. It all depends on what you want. Okay. Now, it depends on how crazy you want to go in terms of power. But Precision Racework, which is also BMP, actually makes really high quality products as well. Okay. The kit that we're actually going to be installing on the car that's right next to yours, that's going to be the 1000 plus.
Big power build, yeah.
Yeah, so he's actually doing Precision Racework products too, which is BMP.
I actually have that set up on my phone right now. I was looking at all the kits, and Precision Raceworks is the only one that I saved.
Yep. So all it comes down to too is like, you know, what kind of power goals you have, and if you want to go for, you know, 600 plus horsepower,
Yeah.
then we have to talk about getting like return lines or upgrading your fuel lines. Now you don't have to upgrade your fuel lines. It's only if you want to make more power. They say that the OEM line's not rated for ethanol from factory. It's true, it's not.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, both my cars, I was actually running OEM lines until I really went for more power.
Okay.
So unless you actually want to go for a lot of power, then you don't need to upgrade the line.
Okay.
But you should, since it's not that much more.
Yeah.
So this is just for everybody else out there that might be wondering like, hey, should I upgrade the lines? So it all comes down to your power goals. If you're only trying to make like, you know, 500, 600, you could probably get away with it without doing it.
That's good.
But knowing you and me, you know we're gonna go for a lot of power.
We got a content car right here, you guys. So what that means is we are gonna go for a lot of power, like Mike's saying, and I couldn't be more happy about it. Now, the only problem is I'm still a broke TikTok kid. I'm waiting for that TikTok money to come in so that we can finally do this stuff, but things are happening. You guys are gonna see this car on this channel. And,
Well,
should be
there's
crazy.
that, and also, you know, he also has a YouTube channel that he started up too. So
Yeah.
subscribe to his and follow his channel as well, because you know we're gonna have some crazy stuff coming on.
100%. 100%. You guys gotta stay tuned for all of it because
Yep.
big plans are coming, guys.
Huge, huge. I mean, we've been talking about it for a little while now, but
Yeah.
you know it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, I gotta get a lot of stuff done. You guys can see the car's a little bit in shambles right now.
We've been talking about, you know, potentially going Doc Race single turbo kit too, right?
Yes, we have. Yes,
So-
we have. Everybody's been over on my channel bugging me about going single turbo. I was gonna go twin setup just because it bolts right in, but everybody craves that single turbo power. So I think it's something I might have to do.
It's not a choice. We're doing it.
It's not a choice. I love that. We're gonna do it, guys, and it's gonna be crazy. A little 1 Series pushing some serious power. Always fun to watch.
If you guys actually go check out his channel, I'll drop a link on the bottom as well. Subscribe to his channel and you guys will see amazing content. Promise you guys will be laughing. I mean, he's a funny guy. Hilarious.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
always commenting on your TikToks
Yes, you
and
are.
your reels, and I'm just dying.
Tell you what, it's actually my favorite thing to see your comments. I look for them early in the mornings now when you tell me. He told me the other day, he was like, do you ever notice how my comments are always early in the morning? So when he's like only on social media and stuff like that. So
Yep.
now I look for him and it's the best.
Yeah, only in the morning, that's when I go on. Besides that, I'm never on.
Too busy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why I never really post anything on my personal Instagram, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Just don't have the time. But I'm gonna try to, you know, obviously give out more content for you guys to watch, and at the same time, you know, just stuff going around the shop. So back onto the topic of installing this exhaust. Now, we already tucked the wires and routed it into the trunk, but I will go ahead and let Henry explain how he routed it into the trunk.
In the battery compartment, there's a little grommet. You have to push that inside, and then you can route the wires through that hole down to the bumper area. You take off this plastic piece that's held on by about, I don't know, like 7/8 and 2/10. Then you can fold this heat shield downwards, pull the wires down, connect them onto the mufflers. And then what I like doing is taking off this 10 right here. There's a 10 that holds the heat shields together right here, and you tuck the wires in there, and that 10 prevents the wires from slipping out into the exhaust area. And then all that's left is just aligning tips and hardwiring the connector to the battery.
So once we have the car down and the exhaust is assembled back down on the bottom of the car, we'll lower down the car and then we'll show you guys how to hardwire. First, we got to cut the wires, splice the wires, and add terminal connectors to them. And then we actually connect it to the battery, and then we'll show you guys how to do that. Okay, so once we actually route the wires up from the bottom, this is the area right over here that we actually route it through, which is onto the rubber grommet here. We pop this grommet in, run these 2 wires up, and then now we're going to connect the 2 wires into the box itself. Then the wire that's included with this allows it to plug into the cigarette lighter. In this case, we're going to hardwire it. Obviously, this is optional. This depends on if you want to just hardwire it instead of having to hook it up to the cigarette lighter. Some cars have cigarette lighters in the trunk. In this case, this car does not. So we're going to reduce the amount of wires that we're going to be routing. Plus, it's going to be much cleaner. So we're going to extend out this wire about maybe 2 feet or so. And then we're going to cut this wire like so. Then we use a wire stripper. You don't have to have a fancy one like this one here, but this one's pretty nice. Strip this wire, pull that sleeve apart. Now you have 2 exposed wire. Red is power, black is ground. So now we are going to strip these 2 wires to about there. Remove that. And then we're going to go to here and strip this wire now and toss that out. Then we're going to spin. Oh, let me get this one a little bit more. And then we will grab the wires, spin it around. Then now you can connect this terminal to the box. Grab the terminal connectors and install them over the wire. Again, you don't need fancy tools like these, but it does make life much easier. And then now we would clamp the wires onto the terminal connectors, like so. And then now we will just simply connect them to here, and we will test to make sure that it powers up first before we fully secure it. And we're good. So how we know is there's going to be a light that turns on inside this box once we connect it. So now we will connect these wires onto this distribution box. There will be a power terminal here, and ground will be here, power will be here. Now when the battery runs low voltage and starts to sleep and run a little low, this will disable, because there's an IBS sensor here that would disable this IBS from giving voltage to this distribution box. That's how we won't drain out the battery over time. So if you connect it to the battery terminal directly, it will drain out the battery voltage. So hook up the power to here and the ground to here, and it'll be all good. So now we'll just go ahead and do that. We are going to hook up the ground to is actually right here. There's a 10 millimeter on the ground terminal. We will loosen up this 10 here. And we will now take this terminal connector and slide it inside of here onto the bottom of the washer. It has to be under the washer. Like that. And then we will tighten that down while holding it to make sure that it does not fall off of it. Like so. And then now we will get the 13 millimeter and loosen up this one. And then tuck this wire underneath here and route it to the other side. And then same thing, wedge it underneath it, like so. And then we would now tighten this onto this terminal. Now we're good. We will tuck this wire to this direction over here, like that. Then we can close it up. And that's it. And now we will take the remaining wires and roll it up. There will be excess wires. Now we can zip tie this so that it doesn't have to, so it doesn't move around. But I don't like to zip tie this because in the case if you need to remove this module, to remove this battery or anything like that, you don't want to be stranded because you don't have any cutters to cut the zip tie. So now you can tuck it behind here, underneath all of this, and the wires will not go anywhere. So just wedge all the wires under. Then we take the box, and then the box will now go inside of there as well. that. So now we'll finish up installing the exhaust tips, and then we'll turn on the car and show you guys how it sounds before and after with the valves open and closed. I hope you guys found this video informative, and if you guys have any other videos you guys would like for me to create or maybe help you guys service something, just comment below and then I will get to it and create something for you guys. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.